so aggressive and such a run-through guy, and a fantastic blitzer over his time. So we want to put him in a position to do that. So he's jumped right into the real spot, and that gives us some flexibility that we're gonna grow with. He looks really good. You know, he had a real serious injury a bit ago. He looks like he's back. So weighing a little bit more than he was before he fits right. I'm really anxious to see how he takes it.
How about the familiarity working with him? How valuable is that? You know him so well.
Yeah, Cole, do you have any questions, by the way, before you get out there? You guys do.
Hey, can we get some space, guys? We're crowding the podium a little bit. Come on. It's hot as well. No, just kidding. Roll number 2.
Go back.
That's familiarity about working with Jamal before. How important is that?
It's really important. We made a big trade to get him because of who he is and the nature of his football style of play, aggressiveness, toughness, and his mentality is really unique. That's why we were so willing to go after him a while back. So to get a chance to get him back in our organization right now and kind of give him an opportunity to get back in flow of the kind of play he's capable of, I'm all over it. And it is because I know him really well and because I think the world of him. So his style of play is so suitable for what we're trying to do about being aggressive and tough and all that. And so we'll see what happens. He's competing.
What has Jonah Laulu shown you so far in the time you've been working with him?
You know, Jonah hasn't done anything but the right stuff so far. He's been on it. I found him watching film, you know, coming off the last season before we got back together and all that. And I thought I saw some really good traits about him. And so I've been kind of in his corner the whole time, pushing him to be one of in the front line of this thing. And so far, he showed us the flexibility to play different spots, which is good. He's playing really hard. He's playing really smart, and he's making a bid for it. So it's exciting.
Obviously, it's a different position, but do you see Jamal maybe as a Charles Haley, just a primary pass rusher, or do you think he can do all 3 downs and more?
No, I don't see him as a primary pass rusher. I think he's an instinctive guy that can do a lot of things. So we don't want to put him on, in any place that blocks that down. So he'll be behind the line of scrimmage and on the edge, moving around just like our system calls for. And he might be a great fit for us. We're going to give him an extra chance.
Pete, you've coached against some of the greats in this game. When you see Max Crosby doing what he does out there, almost like it's a Super Bowl every rep.
Yeah, he really truly is the epitome of what we're looking for in this program. And he doesn't just speak it; he does it. He's a monster on the offense every day. And I mentioned to Gino, every time he rushes, you have to be aware that you may have to duck on the speed rush. You may have to flush on his up and unders. He's just that big of a factor, and he's given DJ all he wants, and it's a great opportunity for him to work against a terrific football player. His presence is really obvious, and it's not just passing. He chasing the football, and his consistent intensity is really ideal for him.
Pete, what are you seeing from?
This already, but what in time passed since the time you coached Jamal previously to now? Like, what has changed about him, whether as a leader or as a player, that you've seen so far?
Well, he's overcome a major surgery, a major injury, and I've had a couple of guys that have gone through that, and it takes a couple of years. And so here we are. So I know who he is, and I know what he brings, and I know what he's trying to accomplish and get back going again. And we'll see what happens. But he's going to get a real shot, as is everybody. But I'm going to give him a real shot because I can imagine how much of a factor he can be on the defense if he's out there. So a great spirit, great competitiveness about him. So there's nothing I love more about him. That's why we went for him in such a big way before.
We saw season ticket holders on day 1 at camp, and then it was open to the public yesterday with hundreds of Raiders fans here. No fans today, but what has it been like just being immersed in Raider Nation?
Yeah, we need more. Hey, the invitation's wide open. When we have our open days, let's get all of our people in there. I mean, I'm okay if we overflow. Okay, we can have as many as we want, as we can get in here. So the invitation's wide open, and we need it. It is a factor in our practice. It gives us a presence of there's people watching. We're never going to play a game where they're not going to be looking at us and watching us put us on big TV looks and all that. I want them to feel that as much as possible. So it's great to have. We need more.
Pete, can you talk about Gino a little bit and just it's the early stages of camp, but you also have the OTAs. Where is he in terms of comfort level with Chip's offense?
Well, first off, they're connecting. They're going shoulder to shoulder in this thing. We're really working hard with Gino because he has such good history. He's had so many principles and things that he's done that he's mastered. Those will be part of what we're doing as well as the stuff that Chips brings that's creative. Gino being here is such a positive factor for restarting this program, and not just because we were together and he extends the message. He is the message. competes every single day, every step he takes. He's just the version of Max on the other side of the ball, and that kind of leadership, it's just obvious. I mean, he didn't have to give any speeches or nothing. He just is a leader, and so it's just a big factor in the jumpstart. And also when we're on the field, you see the plays day after day. He keeps making great plays, great throws, great decisions. Scramble one in today, and everybody realizes what we got. And so the D-line are looking to take care of him in the pass rush situations. They're trying to keep him fresh and not get in his way because we want him playing for us. So it's been a great start, and we're just getting going. There's just no hindrances at all.
Competition and energy has always been a big part of wherever you've coached previously, but when you get a chance to reset and do something new for the first time, what are the biggest differences in terms of how you structure things and your message than maybe what you did in Seattle?
Yeah, I was taught a long time ago that you either have a philosophy or you don't, and we have one. But the philosophy is affected by the people, and how they adapt to it and how they make it come to life and all that. And that's what this process. So my biggest challenge is to give them the ways that we believe we can play our football, and then let it become theirs. And so it's really a fun challenge, and it's why I'm so charged up. I've been a little bit fired up since I've been here. I know that. I know you might have seen that or not. But each practice is an opportunity for us. Each day is a statement of who we are, what we're all about. Are we there again? Are we consistent? Are we battling? And so it's a coach's dream to have an opportunity like this, really. And so the fellas are responding in a way that's making it really fun. And we're going to get past a couple days from now. We'll really start to bring.
What are you looking forward to when pads come on?
It's a big statement for us to make that we're stepping out of the OTA mode and all of that, because the game is at the line of scrimmage and both sides of the football. And until we start knocking each other around and battling to make each other better, you really don't know where you are. And so we can only evaluate what we can, and at this point we're in great shape with understanding our players. But this is the next step, and so there's not that many padded days before we're playing. So we'll take advantage of every one of them and expect our guys to get after each other. They realize that it's the guy across from them that makes them, and so that understanding is to bring out the best in everybody. So hopefully it'll be really fun to watch.
The statement yesterday, you said you have committed to excellence on and off the field. Is that sort of sending a message about the expectation that you guys have for this part of the field?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. We have extremely high expectations. I don't even know any other way to think. And I don't care what year it is or what team it is. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, this is either going for it or you're not. And that's what we're going for. And whatever that means at the end of it, we'll find out. But in the meantime, there is no standard that we can set high enough that we can't challenge. So we're going for it, like I said. And these guys are on board. They get it.
Well, something that I noticed is how much you kind of move around your defensive backs and kind of like the rotation with a lot of guys getting in there in the backfield. What do you believe is the intentionality behind that, of kind of being an open competition? Who's some guys that you like?
We're gathering information really, and I want them to feel what I'm saying. This is, you either compete or you're not. And so I've got to give them the opportunity to show what they can do and who they are and how far along they've come. And I'm not afraid one bit of playing young guys. If rookies play, I'm fine with that. I've been doing that for years. That's a positive that can happen. So we have to give those guys opportunities to show themselves. And so that's really what it is. If you notice, we're mixing everybody at all spots with that intention.
Coach, you mentioned games are won in the trenches. What are your thoughts on Alex Tapper and Dylan Parham?
Well, both guys, as the question came up about the pads, we can't tell them. We can tell they know their assignments, we can tell they know their footwork and their steps, they're making their calls. But until we start knocking each other around, we won't really know. We need to feel their power. But they've done just positive things so far, so we're in good shape going into pad days.
Last one, Adam. Coach, you brought Jermaine Pratt in pretty late in the process. Jermaine Pratt came in pretty late in the process, I guess. Everybody knows what he can do. He's a very accomplished player, but how is he in terms of picking up what you guys want from him?
Well, he was off to a good start first couple of days. He's got a hamstring's a little bit tight, so we're just making sure that he can get to the fifth practice. Is really what we're doing. We'll give him this day off and try to get him right back. He's instinctive. He's physical. The way we're playing and the things we're asking him to do, we're right up his alley. And it's a pretty tough looking group now. Pretty tough looking group. Devin and what E-Rob brings and what Pratt brings. And what we're seeing, Jamal has an opportunity to try that. It's a physical, hard-hitting, hard-running group now. I'm really excited about that aspect of our defense.
Thank you.